So have you ever wondered why we use cloud computing? Cloud is everywhere. Everybody's asking, what is the cloud? And I addressed that in another video that you can see right here, or right here, or right here, wherever you may see it. But why do we actually use cloud computing as opposed to how we used to do it in the old ways? So in this video, I'll be talking about why we use cloud computing. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Caroline and I am a cloud engineer slash software developer slash entrepreneur, and I make videos about cloud engineering, software development, and entrepreneurship. So don't forget to follow me if you like this video. And at the end of the video, I usually have bloopers about the takes that I did for this video. So be sure to watch until the end so you can see all the funny bloopers that happened when I recorded this video. All right, so let's dig into why we need cloud computing. So first of all, tell me in the comments down below right now why you think we need cloud computing, so that I can see when I look at the video afterwards what you thought and what I thought, and maybe I'll cover some things that I did not cover in this video in another video. All right, so one of the reasons we use the cloud is for scalability. In the cloud, you have access to enterprise-grade, large corporation infrastructure like Microsoft and Google and Amazon. So that means that they have computers and storage all over the globe, and they have a huge amount, way more storage, compute, and all that stuff than any company could probably own. So they give you the ability to take your application to serve one user and scaling up to million and billion of users. Well, maybe not billions, because at this scale you have your own company, but scaling up to a few million users very easily without having to buy any equipment. And you can also scale it back down. So for example, if you have an application that receives almost no usage, and then all of a sudden it uses a ton of resources, and then it goes back down, you can just say, hey, if I have like 50% usage, just add one more computer until I get less than 50%. And then you can also do a scale down rule where you can say, if I have less than 50% usage, then just remove one computer. And that's great. You can scale up and down however you want, and you don't have to buy any equipment to do that. So another point of using the cloud is the global reach. Again, you're using infrastructure from huge international corporations like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and they have the ability to put your code, your service, your computers anywhere in the globe, mostly. So if you are creating an application in the United States and you want to give that application to users in Europe or Asia or Africa or South America or wherever, you can put computers right where your users are, so you don't have any lag, you don't have any issues with data retention like GDPR in Europe. You can just say your data is staying in Europe, and then you can be GDPR compliant. Or for California, you can say your data is in the United States or whatever. So it gives you the global reach that you would not be able to have on your own. If you wanted to have that global reach on your own, you would have to go and actually buy physical servers or contact companies who will lease you servers in those countries, and that will be very annoying. With cloud services, you can just click a button and you have a computer in a different country, and you have nothing to do but just do your work and focus on your work, as opposed to trying to focus on getting infrastructure set up and infrastructure ready halfway around the world. So another reason to use the cloud is for the stability of the cloud. As I keep mentioning, you're using infrastructure from huge corporations that have data centers everywhere around the world. So if you are a company and you have your own infrastructure, let's say you're a small startup and you have your own infrastructure in-house, and in-house I mean literally in your house, you have most likely one computer, maybe a backup battery, and that's it. So if your internet goes out, your service is out. If your power goes out, your service is out. So the good thing about the cloud is you can just say, look, I will give you my code or application or services to run, and you will run them, and they will do that. But it's just the data center itself has a ton of redundancy, a ton of battery backup, a few internet lines going into the building, so if one provider is down, the other one is up. You also have the ability to do things like availability zones, where you can say, well, store my application on two computers that are in two different sections of the data center, and if one goes down, go to the other one. You can also say different building entirely, so if one goes down, the other one kicks back up. Of course, the cost increases for that, but you can be certain that your service can be up 24/7 thanks to the infrastructure. Of course, you can have outage based on your code being horrible or something else, but at least the cloud computing gives you that stability in terms of compute and storage. So another reason to have the cloud is affordability. So let's go back to our model of on-premise. If you want a computer, you have to buy it. That's it. You want to run an application, you want to provide a service, you have to buy a computer and you have to run it. That means you have to buy it, set it up, make sure you have internet, make sure you have maybe battery backup so that it doesn't just turn off and crash. Same for your internet, battery power so it doesn't turn off and crash. And all that just adds up. So let's say you're doing a proof of concept as a startup to get your application off the ground. You don't want to spend $100,000 in equipment for something you don't know is going to work. And on the other hand, if you're a corporation, you may not want the whole infrastructure. You may not even have room for infrastructure. Like a server room is a lot of money and a lot of space, because you have to have the server room, the racks, you have to have the power going into the server room, you have to have the cooling. So it makes it a lot more affordable to have the cloud. Yes, people freak out about the cloud being super expensive, but if you manage it properly and you do the proper automation and optimization, you can bring down your cost very, very, very down. So that's why the cloud is great, is because you can control the cost. And if you want to retire a service after a year, then you just turn off the machine. You just turn it off and the cost goes away. Whereas if you buy a computer ahead of time, you have a computer you have to repurpose and do something with it. And another reason why the cloud is so amazing is it gives you the flexibility to do whatever you want. You can experiment however you want. You can go from a machine that is like one CPU, 1 gig of RAM, to a machine that has 32 CPU and 1 terabyte of RAM. You can have huge networks. You can have so many things that you would not be able to have on even in an enterprise environment without spending a lot of money. You can connect multiple places together. You can connect multiple computers together however you want. And especially if you're not a system admin, or if you're not somebody necessarily skilled in systems administration and networking, you can still do it. It's not, of course, you still have to learn the concepts to an extent, but if you have an idea, you can go in the cloud, you can do whatever you want. Of course, you'll have to pay for it, but it gives you the flexibility to do whatever you want. There's nothing that's off the list as long as you have the money. So it's such a wonderful place to be and play with technology that you would never have access to in the physical world. So that's what I really like about the cloud, and that's what people really like about the cloud, is that you can, if you have an idea that requires technology, with the cloud you can make it happen, regardless of whether you have the space, you have the power, or you have the money. You can make anything happen in the cloud. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, or at least before the bloopers. Stay tuned for the bloopers. They're coming right in a few seconds. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment if you liked it, or tell me what I missed about cloud and what is great about cloud. And yeah. Oh, we have the army of puppies. Like, hi, puppies. You say hi. Hi. Say hi. Hi. I'm not in a blooper this time. Well, actually, you're probably gonna be. Hey, welcome back to my channel, my nerds. My No, I don't like it. And therefore you have what?
You have a big stain right here.
Oh no.
Right up here.
That's me. Am I the stain?
Stain.
Alright, I'll change it. That's gonna make it to the bloopers.
Why?
I think it has.
Think one thing, the cars, is that going to be distracting?
It's fine.
And secondly, the strip joint.
Nobody sees that it's a strip joint.